Hey, I'm Jason.
And I'm Sam. And today
we're going to be talking about
taxes.
So what are taxes, Sam?
Good question. A tax, according to Economist.com, is a compulsory contribution to state revenue levied by the government on workers' incomes and business profits, or added to the costs of some goods, services, and transactions.
So basically, it's a way for the government to raise money.
Exactly.
So why are taxes controversial? It seems like everyone hates them. Normal people and economists alike.
It's true. It's because there are so many different pros, but also there's so many different cons.
Yeah. Some pros include the elimination of negative externalities, the funding of the government, which allows the government to provide some public goods, such as police, schools, roads, and financial aid. And it also allows the government to spend, which can help stimulate some sectors of the economy which need it.
Yep. And on the other hand, there are also many negatives. For example, deadweight loss is created in the market, which we'll be talking about later. There's reduced market output, so less goods are made. There's lower incentive to work because everyone has less money. And there's an increased demand for rebellion.
Alright, so here's a graphical representation of a tax's effect on the market. As you can see on the left, it's the market without any interference. The consumer surplus above that price level and the producer surplus below are maximized. And you can see when the tax is implemented, not only is there deadweight loss, but the consumer surplus and producer surplus are also decreased. The output of the market is also decreased.
And now we'll talk more about what actually happens with the tax. So once the tax is enacted, the cost of producing the good, so all people who are trying to make the good, all the stores and firms, it costs more for them to make this good. So because of that, they're forced to raise the prices to try and make up for the losses they have. And so that's why the price moves up to there. And so at this new price, this new higher price, the demanders are forced to pay more money. And because of that, they reduce their quantity, basically how much they buy. And so the entire quantity of the market goes down. And that's why there's deadweight loss, because at full production, it would be right here, and this whole place, this whole triangle, would all be either consumer or producer surplus. But at the new quantity, there's basically this shortage where there's this gap where the producers can't produce, and so that means the demanders can't buy there because the cost is too high. And so that basically the deadweight loss is now basically a section of the economy that's lost. And so that's one of the cons of taxes, is that the actual total amount of surplus that the producers and consumers get and the government, the total amount goes down.
All right, so here's a simple graph of an individual firm with the average total cost, the marginal cost, the demand, and margin revenue. As you can see, this firm produces at the profit maximizing quantity, which is the intersection of MR and MC. And since there are two different types of taxes, lump sum and per unit, they have different effects on this firm. So lump sum tax shifts ATC downwards, and as that doesn't change the intersection of MC and MR, so the firm still produces at the same quantity, level of output. But when the government implements a per unit tax, that actually shifts MC upwards, which causes a decreased level of production. Yeah.
And the decreased level of production is what we saw in the market beforehand. That's the per unit tax that we were talking about, is the one that actually decreases how much the economy produces.
Okay.
So we've learned a lot about taxes. For recap, there are both good things and bad things about taxes. And although on the surface it might seem like taxes aren't very good because they're just taking your money, there are many things that are beneficial about taxes.
Yeah. Taxes, although they cause deadweight loss. They can actually eliminate negative externalities, and they can also provide money for the government, and the government provides us a lot of beneficial public goods such as education and protection or healthcare.
Yep.
Things that we require.
Also, we learned about different types of taxes. There's a lump sum and per unit, which are different types. Like per unit affects MC, and it can affect the actual supply curve of a farm, whereas lump sum just affect ATC and don't actually affect the supply. And we've also learned about progressive, proportional, and regressive taxes in relation to income and how much you have to pay.